This is the daily horoscope for March 6, 2026. Aries steps in with direct momentum and clear intent. Parts of your life might seem like gladiatorial games out of ancient Rome. The good news is that if anyone can rise above this situation and see the truth in the matter, it's you, Aries. Love and relationships. The astral configuration today reveals you have a chance to make amends with someone special after a difficult time. Although if you really want the relationship to continue, then this is the time to do it, as you are both prepared to talk about the issues that really matter. Career and work. Your relationship with mechanical and electrical gadgets has been off during the past 3 weeks. Today things begin to ease and work is expected, and you will find that your computer doesn't crash nearly as much as it has been. Money and finances. This week you're facing a time of transition. Your mind now. Health and energy. Having a walk on the wild side? If you are, it's probably got something to do with the minor revolution happening in the skies. What to avoid today? Be careful to not be too obstinate about how to resolve things. Best move today. It's important to remember that since the universe affects the area of your chart governing romance, kids, family, and fun, you can put your daydreaming mind to work to come up with new products and services to meet the needs of these demographics. Mood and mindset. Parts of your life might seem like gladiatorial games out of ancient Rome. Taurus moves steadily and turns patience into progress. You're apt to go in circles if you only see the negative side of every situation, Taurus. Your lack of perspective could keep you from seeing an answer right in front of you. Love and relationships. Although love and romance, deeply intense and passionate experience that you had hoped for today, don't give up. The position of the planets means that initially you while in each other's company, but that this will change as time goes on. Career and work. Today you can finally set the record straight. Over the past 3 weeks, the crazy cosmos has been putting monkey wrenches in your plans. Money and finances. Now you have the confidence to put your ideas into the world in a new way. Others perceive you as professional and enviable, and they aren't afraid to let you know how they feel. Health and energy. Remember, the stuff about looking in the mirror and asking your reflection what you need? This is not something you can put off for the future. When you're not in this relationship, when your kids are grown, when your job is not so demanding. What to avoid today? Don't become a victim of its automatic bias toward the negative. Best move today. Once you take control and start looking at the positive aspects, the answer will become clear. Mood and mindset. You're apt to go in circles if you only see the negative side of every situation, Taurus. Gemini opens the day with quick insight and flexible focus. You're likely to be on a roll with new and innovative ideas about your goals in life, Gemini. Unfortunately, there are some obstacles. Love and relationships. The current celestial atmosphere encourages you to stick around and make the best of a potentially difficult situation today, even though you would rather run 1,000,000 miles and get as far away from your partner, current or prospective, as possible. Career and work. Communication has been fouled up during the past 3 weeks, but this is ending now. Starting today, the tone for much clearer communication all around. Money and finances. You have aspects bringing about something almost like the arrival of a soulmate. You dating now or perfect for allying with in a strong lasting business partnership. Health and energy. Today's planetary configuration can help you get stuck. Creative solutions will abound if you listen to your inner voice. What to avoid today? More than likely, these people are simply reacting out of fear of something they don't understand. Best move today. People who are scared of the new and different are apt to try to toss a monkey wrench into the spokes of your wheels. Mood and mindset. You're likely to be on a roll with new and innovative ideas about your goals in life, Gemini. Cancer leads with intuition and practical emotional clarity. Remember that even though there is tension and chaos all around, Cancer, it doesn't have to affect you. Your motto should be, you're in it but not of it. The basis of most feuds boils down to the struggle between the old and the new. Love and relationships. If you are staying in a particular relationship because it offers a sense of comfort, a secure base, and a prestigious lifestyle, and yet does not bring any real emotional satisfaction, then perhaps you need to start asking yourself some questions. Career and work. Decisions made during the past 3 weeks need to be reviewed. If they have been difficult to manage or finalize, business deals and negotiations are back on track. Money and finances. Sometimes too much talking can be a bad thing. You line is now. Health and energy. You should notice that things bear little resistance today. Not that you mind intensity, but it's very important that you drink a lot of water in order to temper the emotional expansion of the day's energy. What to avoid today? Remember that even though there is tension and chaos all around, Cancer, it doesn't have to affect you. Best move today. Remember that even though there is tension and chaos all around, Cancer, it doesn't have to affect you. Mood and mindset. Remember that even though there is tension and chaos all around, Cancer, it doesn't have to affect you. Leo enters with confident drive and a strong sense of direction. While your brain new and revolutionary ideas, There is something holding you back from setting these ideas into motion, Leo. It could be that there is a small voice in your head telling you to slow down and not automatically accept things and adopt them into your life just because they're new. Love and relationships. The astral configuration today means that the ethereal aspects of your current relationship, that you have neglected to pay attention to the more mundane side of the partnership. Career and work. The planets have been causing a great deal of mental confusion lately, but the good news is that changes soon. Today, things that have been moving backward or have been in pause in your life are moving forward again. Money and finances. Energy flows easily now, without distractions or impediments. Since aspects affect your career sector, this is great news. Health and energy. You are a very busy person, and your mind has been running 1,000 miles a minute for a few weeks now. Today's energy will help take some of the pressure off your overactive mind. What to avoid today? Just don't spend what you don't yet have. Best move today. Today's energy will help take some of the pressure off your overactive mind, mood, and mindset. While you're bringing new and revolutionary ideas, there is something holding you back from setting these ideas into motion, Leo. Virgo starts with precision, calm focus, and useful perspective. You could feel like you're walking a puppy that won't heel, Virgo. The puppy is curious and, at times, rather reckless. Love and relationships. Although today usual as far as a close personal relationship is concerned, this down to earth. The position of the planets means that you arrangements or work through contracts that help you both tie your affairs together. Career and work. Short-range travel might be back on track. You've taken longer to get places thanks to unexpected travel delays and mishaps. Money and finances. You're part of a wonderful aspect this week. Though the universe can make it hard for you to see your own value, everyone else is certainly seeing it. Health and energy. You can't have enough laughter in your life. The very act of laughing deeply stimulates and releases pressure that has been stored in the lower chakras, where your energy tends to get blocked. What to avoid today? You could feel like you're walking a puppy that won't heel, Virgo. Best move today. You can rest easy since now these things are starting to shift. Mood and mindset. You could feel like you're walking a puppy that won't heel, Virgo. Libra begins by balancing diplomacy with firm decision-making. Your mental processes, you discover that there are certain rules and guidelines by which you need to abide. Libra. Sometimes you feel as if you're above all the rules, that you can establish your own based on your personal morals, and that everything will be fine. Love and relationships. The planetary alignment of today needs to be covered in terms of your current relationship. This you need right now. Career and work. Missed appointments and missed phone calls have been commonplace during the past few weeks. Today, things ease up and messes become organized again, suggesting that these types of work-related incidents will be running smoothly again. Money and finances. There's a lot of airy energy around now that can sometimes make people flighty, but you're anything but. Health and energy. You tend to search for meaning in everything. This is not necessarily good or bad. What to avoid today? Your mental processes, you discover that there are certain rules and guidelines by which you need to abide. Libra. Best move today. Try not to be upset by this. Just deal with it. Mood and mindset. Your mental processes, you discover that there are certain rules and guidelines by which you need to abide. Libra. Scorpio begins with depth, strategy, and quiet determination. In all the time spent trying to stabilize your emotions and achieve sensitivity, your feelings, Scorpio. Because of this, your rational mind lately, even though it's crying out for you to move forward to a different situation. Love and relationships. Your partner, current or prospective, seems to want to focus on the more intangible aspects of the relationship, while you are certainly more tuned into the earthier aspects, so you dote. Career and work. Lately, it has been difficult for you to get a clear mental picture on anything. Today, however, some difficult cosmic energy lifts, thereby easing this burden and bringing greater mental clarity to your world. Money and finances. You have a lot of activity in your career sector, which definitely could lead to more money down the line. You might receive a message from a boss or coworker that changes your life forever. Or you might get a message from the universe that it's time to change careers to something more meaningful to you. Health and energy. Do people think you are too serious at times? If you hear this too often, the natural reaction would be to take it as criticism. After all, you are only trying to understand yourself and others. What to avoid today? In all the time spent trying to stabilize your emotions and achieve sensitivity, your feelings, Scorpio. Best move today. Take some time to listen to your thoughts and take them more seriously than you have been. Mood and mindset. In all the time spent trying to stabilize your emotions and achieve sensitivity, your feelings, Scorpio. Sagittarius starts with optimism, curiosity, and smart timing. The more you can apply to your own life, the advice you give to others, the better off you'll be, Sagittarius. No one is going to follow a leader who doesn't abide by his or her own standards. Love and relationships. The position of the planets encourages you to try a little experiment as far as your relationships are concerned. If you are having difficulty in deciding which one is the most promising, then try tuning into your future self and finding out what about each of the directions that could lie ahead. Career and work. You will find that energy moves in a more positive direction, starting today. Feel free to purchase things with mechanical parts again. They won't break down on you as they have been doing the past 3 weeks. Money and finances. With a supportive aspect now, it's important to say what you mean and mean what you say, especially when it comes to work and money. Health and energy. You need lots of friends but also sufficient quiet time to focus on her own inner needs. Your goals tend to be people-oriented, but private time is what nurtures your ability to understand and set your goals. What to avoid today? The more you can apply to your own life, the advice you give to others, the better off you'll be, Sagittarius. Best move today. The position of the planets encourages you to try a little experiment as far as your relationships are concerned. Mood and mindset. The more you can apply to your own life, the advice you give to others, the better off you'll be, Sagittarius. Capricorn opens with discipline and a practical long-range view. You, steady track of discipline that embraces an older, more traditional way of looking at things, Capricorn. Suddenly, however, you're hit by an aggressive force urging you to do things differently. Love and relationships. This is a good time to take notice of your dreams, as the current astral configuration some deep and meaningful communications via this medium. Career and work. The last 3 weeks have been a time for reflection and review. Now this period is over, and it is time to move forward with confidence, based on the realizations that you have had. Money and finances. This period is about other people's money. If you're trying to raise some capital for a new business venture, it's time to think about how your product or service will change the landscape of your field and not just be background noise. Health and energy. Do you ever experience cold hands and feet? This is a sign of weak circulation and can be aided by activities such as fast walking, running, and swimming. What to avoid today? The more you try to resist this force, the more it's apt to cause friction and tension. Best move today. The more you try to resist this force, the more it's apt to cause friction and tension. Mood and mindset. You steady track of discipline that embraces an older, more traditional way of looking at things, Capricorn. Aquarius begins with original thinking and grounded execution. A radical force seems to be stirring up trouble and challenging your long-established beliefs about how things should be done and what you hold most dear. Aquarius. The truth is that what you might see as trouble is really a growing pain to be endured as you move to the next step in your personal evolution. Love and relationships. Today's celestial atmosphere to discuss some of your colorful fantasies with your beloved. If your relationship has been going through a dry patch, then take this opportunity to discover more about what you both truly want. Career and work. For the past several weeks, you have received misinformation on something that is important to you and vital to your success in the workplace. Thanks to the cosmos clearing up, the truth is revealed, and you are able to work with it constructively. Money and finances. Now the focus shifts to relationships of all kinds. You attract the kinds of clients you want to work with, the kind of job you want to occupy, or the kind of money you need for smooth operations. Health and energy. Giving yourself room to do what is right for you, fitting in with the group. Sometimes what is right changes, and you must break with the past. Resistance to change comes from fear that a particular love source will disappear as soon as we shift. What to avoid today? A radical force seems to be stirring up trouble and challenging your long-established beliefs about how things should be done and what you hold most dear, Aquarius. Best move today. If your relationship has been going through a dry patch, then take this opportunity to discover more about what you both truly want. Mood and mindset. A radical force seems to be stirring up trouble and challenging your long-established beliefs about how things should be done and what you hold most dear, Aquarius. These opens with empathy, imagination, and clear inner guidance. Things could get a bit tense for you, Pisces. One of your first reactions might be to look to your loved ones for support. Love and relationships, our fantasies, and conscious daydreams can be the source of much life-giving guidance and healing if we are prepared to take notice of them. The planetary alignment encourages you to take a look at some of your more enduring desires as far as your relationships are concerned. Career and work. You can breathe a big sigh of relief today. The planets have been making it difficult for you over the past 3 or 4 weeks by creating confusion in your relations and communications with others. Money and finances. You have a harmonious aspect affecting your employment and health sectors now. It's important to be forthcoming in business communications, health, and energy. Being yourself is feeling pretty easy these days. There is not a lot of challenge in your relationship with yourself. It is with others that the challenges can be a bit out of the ordinary. What to avoid today? At the same time, stay diplomatic and avoid being strident or demanding. Best move today. Our fantasies and conscious daydreams can be the source of much life-giving guidance and healing if we are prepared to take notice of them. Mood and mindset. Things could get a bit tense for you, Pisces. Thank you for listening to today's horoscope. If you enjoyed today's horoscope, please subscribe and come back tomorrow for your next daily horoscope.